What up, gamers? Here is my kind of track overview for the S2000 for my 2-minute 14 lap, which is far from perfect, but I think I've learned a few things about how this car works, and maybe this would be kind of useful for you guys. Who fucking knows? Maybe you'll just be like, shut the fuck up, Dan. But a few things before kind of jumping into the actual just corners and how I've approached each of them. This is a fucking hard car to drive, man. Like, it's a hard car to drive. It is obviously super unstable, as we've all felt like. It's super loose on the suspension, which means that everything kind of gets harder in order to try to do like a tight lap, in my opinion. The first thing is the ABS fucking sucks. We gotta avoid that ABS, I think, as much as possible, because it's fucking dog shit. It's just so slow. It just means you lose so much time into the corners because you are effectively, only braking for like a third of the time or some shit. So my first hot tip is just never fucking hit ABS if you can avoid it. Do not go there. The second is like stability in and out of corners is really important. Like watching the weight shift over the car, gives you a sense of just how fucking dangerous it can be. But if weight's moving like diagonally over the car, it's really fucking dangerous. So I think you just kind of have to be really slow and considered with both your entrances and your mid corner and your exits. Just kind of keep everything super, super smooth. And finally, the big thing is just patience, I think, for this one. So patience on slowing down, not over braking, not trying to brake too late, don't try to be too jerky on it. Patience for the weight to transfer, and patience for the car to kind of slowly start turning in general. The first 214 I got was just the first lap after cold tires, and I just was like, I'm just going to go really kind of very smooth on the steering wheel and very smooth on the accelerators. Wasn't even trying to hit like the best racing line, and suddenly, boom, I got a really good lap time. So it's all about patience. Anyway, I'm going to go through the corners super quickly and how I approached it, and we'll take it from there. So the first corner, this one, everyone's same. I think we're all braking at about the same spot, which is about that 150 meter mark or so. That is then, of course, about 80% on the brakes, right? So braking here, 80% on the brakes. And then the whole idea is dodging the sausage curbs. So 80% on the brakes, avoiding the ABS, as you can hear, and then just kissing the sausage curbs, but not touching them, and getting on power straight away. I had a few versions where I was actually touching the sausage curbs, and it wasn't anywhere near as good, I didn't think. You can actually kind of make it work, but my preference is definitely not touching the sausage curbs. So just what it looks like from POV. 150 meters, down to second gear, not touching the sausage curbs, and back on power. And if you're me, sliding out a little bit, but obviously a bit of lap time there if you weren't to do it. So again, down to second gear. Obviously super careful on how I'm downshifting, not doing it too quickly. 1, 2, 3, because fighting the steering wheel, otherwise I'll lose the tail end. Kiss the curbs, and off you go. Next corner. This one's actually pretty straightforward. Obviously, we're hugging all the right here on the track. And we get to this corner. We're braking at about that 125 meter mark, so kind of halfway between these two barriers here. And the whole concept of this corner was, in fact, that these track limits are like super, super generous. And so once you kind of line your car up with the two corners, it's just pretty much on the throttle in second again. So you can kind of see that here. As soon as I jump onto here, I'm hitting the throttle really, really hard, just kind of off for a second, just get around the edge of that sausage curb. That seems to be the only track limits thing I was really wary of. And then just fly out of the corner at speed. And obviously it gets a bit airborne for a second there, but that's totally fine. You can always take a little bit more of that sausage curb. So after I changed my approach here, this one actually became a pretty easy corner. Down to second, pretty late shifting. Obviously shifting slowly just to make sure I don't lose the front end, but it looks like this. Last shift happens like almost on the corner, and then on the power, and away you go. Now this next corner, I obviously shift up to third here, and at this point for the next two corners I stay in third the entire time. I don't shift at all. I'm just in third after I kind of get up to speed out of the last corner. It's a bit of a weird one. It means that you do actually have to clip at 1 or 2 points, but because shifting takes like 25 minutes in this car, it's actually, I think, better to stay in third than necessarily shifting up or down. Kind of feels like shit, but yeah, stay in third is my opinion. Between these two grandstands, I'm braking, and the whole concept here was effectively brake, and start the corner a little bit. So it's like, relatively heavy braking, about that 60, 70 to 80% mark. And then as soon as the car starts rotating, get off the brakes. And the idea here is to kind of let it roll and get on the throttle at the end of this this little fence over here. I didn't do this on this run. I kind of got on the throttle too early, and then you'll see in the video, I'm on the throttle here. I then need to get off the throttle again and get back on the throttle out there. So it's a bit of a clumsy lap. I think the perfect version of this is, again, just rolling through the corner, and at the end of that fence there, which we just passed, getting back on the throttle. That looks like this at full time. So you can hear me getting on and off there, and as a result, like lose the tail a bit, lose a bit of time. But it looks like this in POV. So again, that kind of halfway between these two grandstands mark, like this one of these two, sorry. And that sucks having to get off the throttle there. So I think, yeah, just cruise for a bit, coast for a bit, and then you're away. This one, super important corner, this final one. Like this, I think you can lose like 2 seconds on this straight pretty easily. But the next one, I think you can lose like 4 seconds on the straight pretty easily. So the 15-meter mark is I'm braking, and the whole idea is brake and then turn. We got to keep those things in sequence. You can't brake and turn at the same time, otherwise you just lose traction. You just the front tires aren't loaded before you start turning, so you just need to start braking, and just after the weight transfers to the front of the car, that's where you want to start turning. And so you kind of brake, start turning, and then if you do it right, you can be nice and grippy and hit the throttle pretty much as soon as you hit this green, or mid through the corner, and then fly on the way out. And I came so close to track limits there, dude. Holy shit. Brake, turn, and away you go. So from driver's POV. So I'm kind of braking into the corner a lot more than the previous corner as well. You can kind of see it. I brake and kind of hold the brake and trail brake. It's light braking into the end of the corner there, but there's braking still. And that's that corner. This one's super valuable. Getting a run here is massive. Next corner, braking point is the black sign between 150, so that's like, what, 130 meters or so. I go down to third gear here, and it's just about eating as much curb as possible up here, and then getting on the throttle, ideally before the green. Like if you can turn the car and get on the throttle here, you've got a really good exit here. And again, this one, super important, because it's mostly about, this just determines your straight line speed, obviously. Eating heaps and heaps of these curves. And there you go. Point of view. Down to third. Kind of off the brakes there and onto the accelerator. So again, that's a trail brake corner. So you can see I'm on the brakes. From there, start the corner, start turning, and then I'm off the brakes and onto the accelerator immediately. There's no cruise time there at all. And this final one, this one's, I think, the hardest corner on the whole fucking thing. Braking point, courtesy of Kurt Bedwell, this black sign. And the whole concept here is just what those notes I was saying at the start, right? Like ABS, we avoid. Stability, super important. Patience, super important. So it's kind of like a 60% braking. It was like soft braking for the entire time up until that line up there. And in fact, you do keep braking into this corner a little bit, but it's, again, soft braking. I'm not stomping on the brake here, because if I did, I would eventually ABS go off the circuit, whatever the case is. So it's soft braking, and then you're basically aiming for this line of grip here, right? So it's ABS, soft braking into effectively this Monza sign is where I'm releasing the brake and getting on the accelerator if everything is going well, right? So I'm super patient, which allows me to keep the grip in the car. If I'm not patient, I'll lose grip, and I won't be able to get back on the throttle. It'll feel like poo. So back on the throttle pretty much immediately, and you stick with this grippy line, and fucking God's your uncle mine. Pretty easy. So look at that one. I say pretty easy. It's a very fucking hard corner. One more time. So again, come into that black line. Soft braking. Start the turning. Continuing to soft brake. Holding grip and then accelerating. So continuing to soft brake. Don't lose traction. If you hear the tires screeching, you're braking too hard. So you just need to really be patient. And then you'll hold your grip through that corner. And that's the lap, boys. Hopefully that was useful. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. XOXO Gossip Girl.